other thing also, and this is actually what government needs to do rather than what private sector or SMEs need to do, is while the economic stimulus package is about giving guarantees and loans and access to credit, I am also aware that the government may not have a very robust register of these SMEs. For example, we have a very strong informal sector. So actually, how can government give credit to an institution which is not which is not registered under the business register? So again, how will government decide which institutions to give access to credit or give any economic stimulus if the register for these businesses is not robust enough? So thinking also on how can government build in systems so that when it comes to the next shock or the next pandemic, they're actually ready to cushion these SMEs who exist within the country. I think the other point also is minimizing government expenditure, and this has been mentioned before. I know one of the economic stimulus package, I think it's the 8th point around manufacturing, is purchasing locally manufactured vehicles for ministries, departments, and agencies. And could such resources be repurposed to actually reach to the SMEs rather than the big manufacturing? I say this because it's COVID times, movement is restricted. Why would we be purchasing more vehicles rather than sort of using those resources to pump money into the SMEs? So those are some of the key interventions I think government should do in terms of strengthening their systems to ensure that they provide the support to the SMEs in the lowest bracket, or the ones with the biggest need. And you agree with me, it's the mama bogas, it's the juakalis, it's the papa shops, it's the salons, it's those small businesses, and also it's the digital economy where the youth are starting to venture in. So that would be the priority, and seeing how to cushion those ones. Thanks.
Okay. And Lynette, let me bring you in on this. And it's important what Ms. Karen Bett is talking about. Yes, it's point number 8 on the economic stimulus package, where there's enforcing a policy of buy Kenya, build Kenya, 600 million shillings of it. What is the argument behind buying cars using that money, Lynette?
Of course, when you invest, the most ideal situation, the most ideal thing that you can undertake as a country is in investing in yourself, and that is by manufacturing these cars in our own country and also selling them within our own country. We not only create employment opportunities by manufacturing these cars locally, but also selling them also generates revenue that will circulate in the economy. I wanted to also add on to what Karen had talked about with regards to these SMEs. She talked about the credits being given to SMEs. I also wanted to add on to that and also point out the stimuli that the government was putting in place with regards to refunding the SMEs at least 10 billion Kenya shillings from KRA, and also trying to pay suppliers at least 13 billion Kenya shillings to enable circulation of funds. This circulation of funds can not only improve our manufacturing industry, it can also be channeled into other industries, be it fishing, be it farming, be it food production. So this money, if it circulates in all the various sectors in our economy, it generates income that is building Kenya as a country.
Dr. Abram, do you agree with that approach, especially on the point number 8, where the 600 million for buy Kenya, build Kenya, and yet we haven't really addressed the cost of production?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'm conflicted because I feel that the buy Kenya, build Kenya has got more critical aspects of it that are a bit different from just cars. Because whether you buy Kenya, build Kenya, Volkswagen, the profit goes to Volkswagen Group. It doesn't go to Thika municipality or Kiambu County, as it were. Of course, a couple of people are employed in that particular space. They pay tax in here. But the reality is that the greater return on investment goes to the Volkswagen Group. But if you think about Buy Kenya, Build Kenya at a more critical level, I mean, how many government offices particularly have furniture that is built in Kenya? And yet that is where, the guys on Gong Road, the guys across different spaces, in Bondeni, in Nakuru, where they produce furniture, they produce, clothing and materials and the like. I think that's where the focus, in my opinion, because that's where the employment is en masse. When you think about the materials that are, the kind of furniture, the kind of day-to-day expenses, because vehicles are bought once in a big while for use when you think about mechanics and and the kind of space that they operate. The pending bills, the last time I checked, I think we're at about 350 billion at the national